Hi, my name is Sotonye.
And my name is Oluchi.
And welcome to the CX Playbook. This podcast is for customer service enthusiasts
and businesses looking to improve their customer service. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us.
Hello again. My name is Oluchi.
And my name is Sotonye.
Welcome to the CX Playbook. We're glad to have you again with us this new episode. And we're going to be talking about something very different. I think this is a part of things that we don't really think about a lot.
Certainly.
And we're going to be talking about internal customer service. Now, I think the first question will now be internal. External. What's this about? It sounds like almost like a biology situation, like internal, external. But yeah, it kind of is if you think about it. So yeah, I think I'll let you handle that element of it. What are internal and external customers?
Okay. So our external customers are the customers we basically always talk about, right? The people that purchase goods and services from the business, the end user, essentially.
Yes.
And if we go by that, internal customers would then be the people within the business, i.e., employees.
Exactly. Employees, staff,
yes,
your team.
Whatever you want to call them,
yes,
departments, all of that. So people who are basically running the machine from the inside,
yes,
I would say.
Yes.
So I feel like we talk a lot about external customers, of course. And we're always talking about how you should treat them right. I mean, that's where the money is, right? But I think we don't really have enough conversations about internal customers.
You're completely correct.
I'm sure you've noticed that there's a big issue when it comes to internal customers, especially in our society. So I would want to hear your thoughts on is, how can we go about
making sure that our internal customers are...
Or just maybe tell us about internal customer service.
Yes. So the thing with it is that you're right. We focus a lot on external customers and all the things that we can do for them. But we fail to realize that we are not the ones that will actually give that service in most cases, especially if your business is on the larger side. Now, it's all well and good to be like, oh, my business is founded on the foundation of customer service. That's all great, great English. But ultimately, are the people who you have hired, are they also grounded in that foundation of yours? And that's why internal customer service is really important, because again, your internal customers are probably your most important customers, weirdly enough, because again, they are the people who keep the business alive in your absence. They're the ones who essentially are the faces of your business, especially your business is large. You can't handle anything by yourself. So the first thing that I'll say is a lot of people do not treat their staff well. They don't treat their teams well.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's even take it away from business. Let's bring it home to a situation where you have you have help or a nanny or somebody who helps you. I find it very interesting when I see people who don't treat those kind of stuff well, because I'm like, it's your children.
The person who is taking care of your child.
You have mind.
Roughly.
You have mind, because it makes no sense to me. Because how do you expect that person will have church mind to take care of your kids in the way that you would like them to? And it's really just the same exact theory and concept.
I agree.
You can't expect that a business does not treat an internal customer or a team member well, and then because the internal customer will now go and be like, oh my God, come and buy. I welcome you. No, of course not. The person is not going to do that, because again, even though the person might not intend to, they do not harbor enough goodwill for you or your business to be able to push for you the way you would like. So I think the first thing is we will establish is that a lot of internal customers are currently not being treated properly. And what do I mean by treated properly? It's beyond salary payments, because the first thing that they will tell you is, I pay my salaries on the 30th of every month without any fail. No, it's also about what kind of work environment do you have for them. Are they in an abusive work environment? In some cases, you have, there's a hierarchy. So you've hired somebody who's going to be their boss, and the person is now like a supervisor or a general manager, and the person is abusive.
Yeah.
And then at that point in time, you realize that the things are happening you don't even know about. And then people are actually going through a toxic work environment and you have no clue. So again, within your power, within your means, how comfortable are your staff? how comfortable are they even coming to tell you challenges that the external customers are having? Because most of the time, I don't know if you've experienced this with some of your clients, the business owner doesn't get to know how bad things have gotten
Yes.
until they start getting calls from customers directly.
Yes, yes, that happens, and I think that's why I enjoy team training so much,
Mm.
because I actually acknowledge that the team knows more than the
Oh yeah,
business owner, and that's
definitely.
where you get the real gist of what's really
Mm-hmm.
going on with customers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why did customers, stop coming into the
Why they
store?
stop
Why did
buying
they
a
stop
certain
buying?
thing.
Yes, it's really with the team. That's where you really hear what's going on.
I completely agree. And the team has so much power. No matter, you might even think, oh, my team, I've not empowered them enough to have power. So long as you're not sleeping and waking up in that store, they are empowered and they have the power. So essentially, what we're just trying to say is that if you have a team, and this time around, I don't mean just your customer service people, because that's another thing. They think that, okay, it's just the customer service people.
No,
No, you have to treat everybody well,
everybody.
because customer service starts from the gates.
Yep.
So your security person is part of your, but it's actually a major part of
Major,
your customer
major, like
service team.
first impression.
Yes, that's the first point. Do you understand? So yeah, that's, I think what we're just essentially trying to say is treat your people well so that they can treat your people well.
Yeah,
You
because
understand
this
what I
thing you're
mean?
saying about, how you treat internal customers is so
Mm-hmm.
true. Have you have you ever been, when you're in a situation where perhaps, a member of staff is being rude or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, "Where's your manager? Get me your manager."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen where the
Mm-hmm.
manager comes out and the manager is
Is
worse?
worse. We
Worse. And you be like, "Oh, okay, okay.
Now
This
I
this
get
is
it.
your company culture."
Yes, it's, and it brings me to my next point, which is the tone from the top. See, if you can't give good customer service as a person, I don't care the jazz you are using. Your team can never give it. It's
Never.
not possible. And classic example, I was in the salon one day. This was years ago. I was in the salon and we are making my hair and we are making a lady's hair. And we're making her hair and, there were issues. When you can tell when somebody is having a rough time in the
Mm-hmm.
salon. No, it's too tight. It's too loose. You guys are not. And she was, giving her complaints. Again, it's her right. She's a customer. And then somehow they made it through to the end of the hair. And the customer left. Not very happy, but like, let me just carry my wallet and be going. And then the owner of the salon, who happened to be around and had to intervene a lot of times, immediately, and I mean immediately, this woman stepped out.
Yikes.
These customers are so rubbish. There's no bad thing she didn't say about that woman. And she said it in front of her team.
Why are salons so notorious for this behavior?
Now tell me the kind of service that those girls are going to give to any customer, because they
It can never
basically
be
heard
good.
their madam
Yeah.
disparage a customer. This woman went in. I was like, sure, you forget my talker when she did it. Why did you wait for her to leave? She
That's
said so
terrible.
much.
Because you're basically setting the tone for how they're going to treat your
Pretty
customers.
much. And at that point in time, anything that those girls do, they're entitled to get away with it because you did worse.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And then even when she was even intervening, was intervening with the, like, this kind of like exasperated, like,
Your ally is too
do you
much.
understand?
Just finish
So
and get out.
the tone from the top is super important. If you as a customer, if you as a business owner do not show your team that, hey guys, my customers are not to be played with, because she could have done that so much differently. Maybe when the woman left, she could have been like, Yusef, I've told you your hand is too tight. Can you try to? And then why, guys, the water was not hot enough. Make the corrections. Have your personal feelings about the customer. That's
Yeah.
fine. You're entitled to it. But to spew it out so vehemently in front of the team was a no-no. So tone from the top, super, super important. You can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
If you do not have a customer service culture, you can't give it. So that would be my point on tone from the top. Very, very, very important. And the last thing I would say about um, ways to create effective customer service is you need to invest in your guys.
Yes.
I will leave her to talk about how important training is, because this
Why
is
me?
her thing. I'm going to leave it to you. But the invest that I want to even say here is not only in terms of trainings and all of that. You need to invest in them and show, I don't know how to explain it. There will be times that arise that a staff or a team member would need some compassion.
Yes.
Seize those opportunities to show compassion.
Yes.
Sometimes it could be bereavement. Sometimes it could just be burnout. Even though, yes, before they start, yes, staff can be difficult.
Yes,
Yes, they
they
can
take the
lie.
piss. We
Yes,
know.
I mean, when the public holiday is on a Thursday or Friday, nobody will come. They will all say that they are sick, even though they have gone to their boyfriend's houses. Yes, we know. We know all of that. But when a true moment to show compassion arises, show it to them. So I'm going to now throw it back to you in terms of investing when it comes to training.
Investing.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, like training is important, right? Full stop. Because
Mm-hmm.
these are the people that actually interact with your customers.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that, represent your company or your brand to your
Mm-hmm.
customers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, your customers see your internal customers,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your brand they're looking
Pretty
at.
much,
That's
yes.
basically what they know about your
Yeah, that's
brand,
true.
right? So it's very important to ensure that these internal customers have the requisite skill and knowledge
Mm-hmm.
to
To
give your
be able to
customers
deal
that
with.
service and
Mm-hmm.
experience that would, translate to what your brand stands for,
That's true.
essentially.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So I mean, I can't like overemphasize the need for training. It's so important.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as well, I tend to see some business owners feel, oh, my staff need training.
Mm.
I know all of you need training.
True, 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 true.
Because there have been quite a few instances where, going back to tone from the top, where I'm in a team training session,
Mm-hmm.
and it's usually the sessions where I advise the business owner to please try and make time,
Yes,
and
to
they're
attend.
like, no. We find out that the business owner is the problem. In terms of the
Dun,
staff seem
dun,
to have a good
dun.
grasp of
Yes, of what
what
to
they
do.
should be doing. But then I'm like, okay, so why didn't you do that in that instance?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my madam said,
Mm.
my
My
madam
madam
said
said,
that we're not going to
my
we're
madam
not going to
said,
replace the item.
the notorious, my madam said.
And sometimes they're
Yeah,
even like, please, are you going to tell our madam
that's.
that we said?
Oh, no, no. I've had trainings where I've asked the business owner to leave. Yes, I've done it. Not once, not twice. And it's intentional. Not
Yeah,
for the entire thing, but just
yeah,
for a while because I want to
yes,
hear the true
yes.
situation of things because
So
some people can't even talk.
they always ask, and I say no. I'm going to make recommendations to your boss, but
Yes.
I'm not going to
Be specific
pinpoint
or
and
put you
say
in trouble.
someone said
Mm-hmm.
this. I'm going to say these are, observations,
Yes,
and
yes.
then you just find them opening up,
And
and
telling you the
you're seeing,
truth.
and I'm like, Madam Business Owner, you should have been in this class.
My madam said. So yeah, you're completely correct. Again, which boils down to what I'm saying that if you have a team that can't even come and tell you
Mm-hmm.
these are the issues we're having, I would rather hide things from you. There's so much space under the bed. At some point, the under the bed will fall and it will start to part. You understand? So at some point, it's going to show, And back to investing again, I think the last thing I would say around investing in your staff is investing in the right tools because
Yes.
that's another thing. You want the business to be able to take orders online. There's no data allowance for the people to be able to even go and look at the appointment. So okay,
Mm-hmm.
fine. You told people we're not taking appointments via phone. You must set an appointment online. And the person does the appointment online and then comes to the shop, and then it's like, here's my appointment, and they're like, oh no, sorry, data finished on the phone. We haven't. It's just a mess. If you're
Hmm.
going to say you want to be a data enabled business, then be data enabled with your full chest. Provide the tools, provide the WhatsApp enabled phone, provide the internet enabled laptop, provide the data allowance for it. Give them the tools that you need to for them to work the way you want them to work.
Hmm.
I see a lot of logistics companies doing a lot of this now, like last mile or third party logistics companies, the guys with the bikes. What they've done is they now give their guys smartphones with
Hmm.
Google Maps so that all these, madam, I did these streets where your streets
Hmm.
they I they see this house, I see this school, this building, red building, where be your it ends there.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's an example of enabling your people have the tools. But if they don't have the tools and then you are selling it to a customer as saying, oh, we're a data enabled logistics company, and they speak plenty English, and then at the end of the day, the person doesn't even know how to use Google Maps, then it makes no sense. So and
Hmm.
invest in the right tools. And back to what you said about training. Training is an intangible.
Hmm.
So people are very skeptical. I mean, we're trainers. We understand how
Yeah.
difficult it is to prove to someone that a training will help. So, one of my favorite quotes around training is a CFO and an MD. The CFO says, "What if we train them and they leave?" And then the MD says, "What if we train? What if we don't train them and they stay?"
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue. So, the choice is yours.
So I think to go back to what you said about equipping them,
Mm,
right? So equipping them with the right tools,
mhm.
yes. I think one thing that's also overlooked is equipping them with the right product knowledge,
True,
right?
true.
I mean, have you seen a restaurant where
The waiter
The staff
doesn't
don't
know.
know. They don't even know what's inside the food.
They don't know how it tastes.
They don't know.
What do you recommend? Everything is nice, ma. Everything is nice. All our food is nice.
And honestly, if you're just a random restaurant, cool. But then don't
Mm-hmm.
come and say you're high end and you're not
Yes.
equipping your staff
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
to,
mm-hmm. To know
with
what
the
it is
right
that they're
knowledge to know.
offering.
So even and it cuts across. Even like, okay, you're a hair care brand. Your
Mm-hmm.
staff need to know, what does each product do?
What are the hair
What's the
types?
main,
What's
yeah, what are the
4C
hair
hair?
type? Yeah, they need to be
Mm-hmm,
able to recommend, because like we said, they're at the forefront,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
If they're not trained enough to recommend your products to customers, then what
mm-hmm,
are you
mm-hmm,
really doing?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's not
Yeah.
about your flashy advertising. At
No,
the
it's
end of the
not.
day, customers want personalization. So I want to be able to say, hey, this is what's happening, my hair
Mm-hmm,
is breaking,
mm-hmm.
what can I use? And then you recommend something just for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unique to my circumstances. To add to product knowledge, I think it's also important to let your staff or your internal customers, like we're calling them today, be aware of new product releases early enough. In a lot of situations, you find that there's something in the works.
Mm,
Customers are already asking for that thing. Staff is unaware. So
yeah.
they say we don't have it.
Yes.
Meanwhile, what the response should have been is, we are currently working on this. Would you like us to call you at so and so day when
Yes.
it is available? So that's an opportunity lost. Or in some cases, several opportunities lost, all because you didn't inform your staff on time that something is coming up. So that I'll add that to product knowledge. That if you have something in the works, let them know on time.
Mm,
Sometimes business owners can be very cagey from their staff. And I get it. I've seen so many
mm.
instances of staff going ahead to do the same business that your guy is doing from the Oga's shop, inside the shop, selling the exact same thing. You understand? So I get it. But again, I think is that like what we said about exception and the rule?
Yeah.
You can't categorize
Yes. Yes.
everybody
You can't make that the rule.
into that.
Yes.
All
And I
right.
think it's important to note, because we're in Nigeria of 2023. Why do you look scared about what I'm about
I
to
don't
say?
know
You
because
don't trust
since
me?
sometimes you can see some kind of things and I'm like, madam, are you trying to get us
um,
into trouble?
well, if you are running your business from Canada or the UK or the United States of America, you need to take internal customer service very
Yes,
serious.
yes, yes. Our Jackparians, please understand that you're leaving your business here and you have gone out. That's fine. Good for you. I can never, in fact, anybody that tells me that I'm Jackpot, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. However, if you know that business you plan to earn any money out of it, then you must involve your internal customers in some level of staff training.
Yeah.
So yeah, any last words before we go?
Really, just take care of your internal customers. As the saying goes, charity begins at home.
Bam.
So just see them as your
Home.
customers,
Yes, they are
basically.
your first
They're
customers.
just, within the organization. And I think that's a good place to practice the customer service you're trying to show
To
your
sure.
external customers.
Yeah. For me, it would be sometimes the best teaching for your staff is to mirror the behavior that you want them to basically what you want them to do it for them to see. Sometimes, I mean, we're trainers, we come, we train, we go, but ultimately you are the first trainer. You need to
Mm,
actually show them that, okay, hey, this is how I want you guys to behave. They're like, just think about how kids mirror you and they're
yeah.
sponges.
Yeah.
Staff will mirror you like mad.
It's
Anything
not
you
about
do,
what you say, it's about what you
what you
do.
do exactly. So you can call staff meeting twice a week and speak, and then when it comes to the doing, you're doing something separate, and nobody's going to listen to you. So yeah, mirror
True.
the behavior that you want to see. That would be my last words on the matter.
Okay. I think this would be a good place to leave this
Yes, it
discussion.
would be a good place to live because honestly speaking, I've been thinking about it that we just come here, we're just everything that is that we're teaching, that we're charging money for, we're just giving it out for free. But it's okay, we love you guys, and
It's
that's
all
why we'll
right.
keep doing it. So just all you have to do is just help us to share it. Since it's free, share, like,
Mm,
comment, engage with us as much as possible, and let's keep the conversation going. So till next
yeah.
time, take care of yourselves.
Bye.